our top story, President Trump announcing that the United States officially has a new trade agreement with the European Union, calling this deal, quote, the biggest ever made. The EU agreeing to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the U.S., as well as major purchases of American energy and military equipment. We have a lot to unpack tonight. Let's get to News Nation's Libby Dean live in D.C. with the details. Libby, I understand this came down to the wire just days before President Trump's tariff deadline. How did this get across the finish line?
Well, Natasha, this is the two biggest economies in the world reaching that trade deal after this months-long standoff between the two of them. U.S. companies now will be able to sell products to all 27 nations in the EU for zero tariffs, and the president calling it one of his biggest victories to date.
President Trump taking a break from the links while in Scotland, securing a trade deal between the United States and the European Union.
This is probably the biggest deal ever reached in any capacity.
The deal includes a 15% tariff on all EU imports and no tariffs on U.S. exports. Also, the EU pledging a $600 billion investment into the U.S. and $750 billion in energy-related purchases over the next 3 years. Additionally, the EU will purchase an unspecified amount of U.S. military equipment. The EU Commission president saying it was this deal or no deal.
It was very difficult. 15% is not to be underestimated, but it is the best we could get. It's overall across the board.
We'll learn tomorrow if that's true when the UK Prime Minister and President Trump meet in Scotland. Starmer expected to bring up the humanitarian aid situation in Gaza, which he has described as desperate. This is President Trump today sounding unwelcome to criticism of the U.S.'s handling of aid.
Have other countries not giving anything? None of the European countries, by the way, gave. I mean, nobody gave but us. And nobody said, gee, thank you very much. And it would be nice to have at least a thank you.
And on the trade front, President Trump and his Commerce Secretary today sounding absolutely certain that they will not extend the tariff deadline past Friday. That is, of course, a self-imposed deadline that has been looming over the president's overseas trip while he's in Scotland. Natasha.
All right, Libby Dean live in D.C. with that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.